If prosecutors had only known about this incriminating Google search, they would have been able to argue to the jury that Casey Googled foolproof suffocation hours before she killed her child by suffocation. Straight out to Michelle Suskauer. How big on a scale of 1 to 10 an oversight is this? I mean, in my humble opinion, it's a monumental mistake. I want to pull out for a second. I want to show you some of the notes that we have on this case. This is just a taste of what we have accumulated. There were 25,000 pages of discovery alone, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on the investigation, years spent on the investigation. And the smoking gun was on the laptop computer, on the home computer all along. Right. Michelle Suskauer.
It was, and there was so much that they had to go through in terms of law enforcement. But Jane, the fact that it was there and they didn't find it and the defense had it, it wasn't the defense's job to tell the state what to do and how to prove their case. Would this have made a difference, though, to the jury? I don't know if this would have made a difference because, again, it doesn't answer those crucial questions as to who exactly type that in to that Google search, because there is no witnesses to that. It is more circumstantial evidence here, and that was not enough for this jury to convict her.
Well, let's lay out the facts of the case for our audience. Prosecutors believe Caylee Anthony was killed June 16th. Now, let's look at the internet activity from June 16th that investigators missed. That was found on the computer at Casey's house, ultimately. Records show on June 16th, George Anthony left for work at 2:30 in the afternoon. Cindy, she had already gone to work that morning. WKMG reports at 2:49 in the afternoon, the Anthony family's computer was activated by somebody using Casey's password-protected account. At 2:51, somebody does a Google search for the term foolproof suffocation, misspelling the last word as suffocation. And then 5 seconds later, the user clicks on an article that includes advice on foolproof ways to die, including poison yourself, follow up with suffocation, place a plastic bag over your head. At 2:52, the browser records activity on MySpace, a website Casey Anthony used and George Anthony did not. Robin Walensky, you are the author of Beautiful Life, the CSI behind the Casey Anthony trial. Robin, this is how the child died. These Google searches talk about suffocation, poisoning, and putting plastic bags over your head. She, according to prosecutors, was killed by chloroform. She was suffocated with the duct tape over the mouth, and she was put in plastic bags.
Jane, you know, definitely when I first heard this, there's definitely the wow factor here. And it's a super interesting nugget. But I have to tell you, Jane, you were sitting in that trial, and so was I. I don't think it would have made a hill of difference with these jurors. When the trial was over, the jurors wanted to know how that witch's brew was made, how the chloroform was made. And the prosecutors never told the jurors that nugget. They also never took the jurors on a trip to the swamp scene. And I think that those were the two factors that really would have made a difference in the outcome of the verdict. While this nugget is super interesting, Jane, that they missed this, I still don't think it would have made really, at the end of the day, a factor in the outcome of the not guilty verdict with these particular jurors.